All right, folks, we're here with our little 1930s Bahamas dinghy named Henning. We're cleaning out seams and we're sanding the strakes and getting the old remnants of fiberglass off. That 1950 or so, it was all the rage to add fiberglass to your boat. So this boat had a sheet added on the outside, and then the boat basically went in storage 1980. Hasn't been upside down in storage under a little tin roof for about 40 plus years. And the fiberglass basically acted like a nice boat cover. Luckily, the boat wasn't in the water long enough for water to get between the glass cloth and the wood and cause problems like we know can happen. So we removed all that. Most of it just peeled right off. And then, like on this other side right over here, you can kind of see some remnants that were left, and that's, I mean, this area here, there's no sanding. That's just, it peeled right off. So that's good news, and that's from the wood shrinking and swelling for 4 decades with a little bit of moisture in and out. The plank seams, we're not sure when a boat's been laid up for this long, for 4 decades, put it in, because we don't know exactly what type of wood. Some of the seams are as wide as 1/8 of an inch, and some of them are tighter. The wider seams are trending to be the seams that are below the water line. It makes sense. They would have worked the most over the years. So we're going to put it in a little soak tank and let it sit for a few days and see how much water it takes up. And then from there we can decide how much caulking we need to do with the cotton caulk into the seams. It's been sanding real nice. Been using 60 grit, and this wood is very hard. It's really not touching the wood at all. It's taking the old fiberglass bits off, the old polyester resin, little remnants of cloth. And we clean the seams out with using an oscillating tool with the round blade on it, and it's been a nice size to fit in there and leave us with a good caulking seam behind. 1/8 is probably about the max. It's probably a little bit over what we'd like to see. The planking is 3/8 inches thick, so we're hoping the wood takes on a little bit of water and closes that gap a little. So once again, we're going to wait. We're going to swell it first and then take a look and see what we got, and caulk or decide what we can do from there. I think it's gaps too small to really try to put a spline in there. And this boat, we don't see it getting a whole lot of use anyway. We're just kind of trying to fix a few little things wrong on it and get it ready for another 100 years or so. May or may not, be used a whole lot. So we'll get to that point here in a couple of weeks or so. But one of the things we're curious about, maybe someone out there knows, is along the keel here, about every 3 inches, we've got these little holes, starting all the way at the transom, coming forward, and then one of them here, we can even see remnants of some type of nail. And then they just keep on going every 3 inches or so up the keel, and we're trying to guess what these might have been for. They're not really in a straight line. I thought, well, maybe they were used to hold down a pattern or to mark from or something. I've got a few other ideas. Maybe it was some kind of, who knows, maybe it's a belief they've put some copper in there. It would act like a little to keep the critters from boring into the wood or something. Or maybe this piece of wood had been used in the house as a cupboard or something. So if you're out there and you know how they built the Abaco or Bahamas dinghies, back in the late 1920s, early 1930s. Throw your ideas in the comments, and we'll figure it out, or if nothing else, we'll just make something up. But other interesting thing, they're only on the one side. I think I saw one area where that nail, rivet, whatever it is, may have come through to another area. But beautiful little boat. We're having fun playing with it. I mean, look at this stem here. This thing's hard as a rock. I think you could ram a frigate with that and probably sink the frigate. And I think we've got some bronze fasteners that were all puttied over with white putty. If we had any thoughts at all of finishing this boat with a bright finish, that would be problematic. I don't know what people do, if there's a way to stain those or color them, or if you just got to dig every one of them out and put in some darker putty. But we have discussed it a little bit, but you can tell from the way it was built that the builder never really intended to stain it like that, that they just wanted to paint it, put it in the water and use it. So that could be the way we're going. But we're gonna close it up now and get back to sanding this other side tomorrow, and maybe find a place to swell it up a little bit. Hope y'all are doing great.